Hello, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to That's Football. It's Manchester United. Not Manchester United. Oh, God, it's not Man United. It's Aston Villa against Arsenal. And, God, I do need this. I need some pure escapism from football that I'm basically supporting. I just need to sit and enjoy football without a horse in the race. And tonight, I certainly can do that as Aston Villa take on Arsenal in what is probably the biggest game of the weekend. You can see Super 6 on there. Hope you're playing along. Make sure you get involved by joining our league. That's 6. Scan the QR code or join through the link in the description. Another $1 million given away this week in the game. And also you can win prizes in our own That's Football League, predicting the scores for 6 Premier League games. Links in the description. We'll talk about that in a bit. But we're here to talk about Aston Villa against Arsenal, and I suppose wrap up a little bit about the 3 o'clock games as well. But let's start off with the team news for these two teams that are playing in this 5:30 fixture. Very excited about this because obviously we know from last year that Arsenal really did struggle against Aston Villa, losing both games. So it could be seen as a game that actually had a big part to do with the title, considering they lost the title by 2 points. I certainly think the way Emery approached that game at the Emirates, playing his strongest team towards the end of the season and putting his reserves out at the Etihad, may have been a bigger thing than people wanted to talk about. But we will talk about this starting lineup for Villa tonight. Martinez, Digne, Cash, Torres, Konza, good back 5. Tillemans, Anana, Rodgers, McGinn, Bailey and Watkins. Good team. And they played very, very well against West Ham in last Saturday's 5:30 kickoff. And, I look at that Villa side now and you start to look at the bench. Ross Barkley, Bendia, Duran, Maatsen, Philogene, Ramsey, Carlos. There is some quality on that bench now for Aston Villa that they'd be looking to have a big season, I think. So let's have a look at the Arsenal lineup as well. Well, Arsenal will be the favourites in this game, and these are the sort of games that I think really evidence what Arsenal have become in the last 2 years under Arteta. You know, going to Aston Villa and being the favourites against the good Villa side. Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, White, Rice, Partey, Odegaard, Martinelli, Havertz and Saka. That's a strong Arsenal side, and I've got Arsenal to win this one. I can't remember what I went for in Super 6. I went 3-1 Arsenal. I've not had a perfect score today. I went 4-0 Ipswich Man City, it was 3-1. I went 2-0 Spurs Everton, it was 4-0. And I went 1-1 Palace West Ham, and it was 2-0 to West Ham. So I've only got 4 points so far. But if anyone's had any perfect scores, well done. But I went 3-1 to Arsenal in this one. So I will stick with that. It was 4-1 to City, sorry. It was 4-1 to City, but I went 3-0. So I got the difference right. I just didn't get the actual score. No, it's 4-0. They just haven't updated that, have they? Okay, that's all right. It's fine. Whatever. Okay, thoughts on Spurs today? Good. I mean, let's just have a quick look at the... let's just have a quick chat about the Premier League today, because obviously... there was some very interesting scorelines. I think that with the way it sort of panned out, I was quite surprised that Spurs bounced back so well, but they should have put Leicester to bed. Sorry, let me just put that out there. They should have put Leicester to bed. They didn't. They dropped 2 points, but they were doubly ready not to drop points today, weren't they? I mean, a very impressive result against Everton, who, look, I sort of pity Everton fans. I'm sure they don't want the pity, but they... I am doing Liverpool-Brentford tomorrow at Uzar, yep. But, I mean, Everton are just a mess, an absolute mess. They won't go down, but they are a mess, and... I think that, I think we would all agree with that, wouldn't we? I mean, the interesting thing is that they get beat 4-0. They got beat 3-0 last week. That's 7 goals conceded in 2 games and none scored. It's exactly the problems they had before, not scoring goals, but now they're conceding goals. I said it on Twitter. Everton were giving it the big one. We want 70 million for Branthwaite. Maybe if they just took 50 million and actually started building a team, they they might be in a better position, but their team's just not good enough. It's all right saying you want 70 million for Branthwaite, but you know, they're in a position where that money could have been utilised already, and now it's not. I think Everton are in a lot of trouble, to be honest with you. I mean, look, it's only 2 games in. I mean, let's not pretend that Everton couldn't turn this around. But their next game is Bournemouth at home, and I think that they've got to. They've certainly got to do better, but they won't be going down because, as we've seen, like all 3 newly promoted teams lose again. And I know Leicester got a point, but there's been 6 games for the newly promoted teams, and combined they've took 1 point. 1 point. It's from a possible 18, they've taken 1 point. And this is why they'll get relegated, because they just don't have the quality. The leap is too big from the Championship to the Premier League now. And I know, like we were talking about it on the podcast with Will, and he you know, he wants to champion them and hopes that they do well. I don't want to be. I'd love one of them to stay up, but I just don't think they will. I don't think they will. I mean, Leicester losing at Fulham, that's a team that you want to sort of get points from. Southampton losing at home to Forest, I mean, that's definitely points you want to get on the board. So, yeah. Some people are saying, what do you think about the offside goal for Manchester United? The rules are the rules, but it should have been given in a common sense. I completely agree that the goal has to be given offside because that's the rule. But basically, if you haven't seen it, Man United played a really good move. Garnacho is putting it into an empty net, and Xerxes, who's trying to slide out the way, it hits his knee on the line and goes in. But it was going in anyway. And because Xerxes is technically in an offside position, the goal gets given as offside. But, you know, it's just massively lucky for Brighton and massively unlucky for Man United. The rule is right. You know, it's definitely not a goal, but the rule needs changing. It's stupid. I mean, there's just no... I don't know why that rule exists. I don't know why it exists, because it's just... What does it add to football? I think it's a stupid rule. But by the rule, it was offside. Add context. Ipswich faced Liverpool and City in their first 2. What are you talking about, man? No one expected them to take points regardless of the glap, says Rajin. Rajin, I don't really care what you're talking about. It doesn't change my opinion. Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester will go down. The quality of gap is too big. I couldn't give a toss what the context is. Like, my prediction is my prediction. And I'm very, very, very confident that I will be right. Look, their next game is Fulham. They've got to get something out of Fulham. Let's reconvene in a week. Who do you think is better, Emery or Arteta? I think Emery's the better coach. But what Arteta's done at one club is amazing, and he's 10 years younger. So I think it's very unfair to compare. LeBron says, do you like football? Okay. Can you do an impression of Deitch? No, I can't, Sam. I don't feel great with my throat, so I can't do it, I'm afraid. And add content. I've done that once, Rajin. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, I should be able to get you the scores up now. Let's have a look. There we go. So there's today's scores going around for you. As you can see, we will be doing Liverpool against Brentford tomorrow. There is no Monday Night Football. So Wolves and Chelsea and Bournemouth and Newcastle, I think, are the 2 o'clock games in that. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Are you in a bad mood, Mark? No. Well, no, I'm not in a bad mood. I've got a bit of a headache. And obviously Manchester United performance didn't help massively with that. So I'm probably a little bit, blurry in the head, but hopefully I'll be okay. I can't do Sean Dyche impressions though, because my throat really hurts. So I'm not going to sit there at the start of a stream and start doing Sean Dyche impressions. I've not been to the pub today. I won't be going to the pub today. And also, which player would you take from Arsenal to Manchester United? Declan Rice, need a midfielder. Saka, need a right winger. Saliba, Gabriel. Yeah, I'd probably take quite a lot of Arsenal players at the moment, to be honest. I'd probably take Arteta as well. I'm not happy with Ten Hag. I'm back on the United stand at 8 o'clock. I'm not happy with Ten Hag. I'm not happy with him today. Really pissed off, actually. Which is weird for me because I back him, and I still back him. Of course I do, but I'm just really pissed off with him. I'm really pissed off with him. I'm fed up of his excuses. I'm fed up of his crap team selections and substitutions. But, you know, it's still quite raw. Danielle says, I know it's second game in, but you still think United get top four? But it's way too early. Way too early to be starting talking about who's getting top four and who's not. If Arsenal lose to Villa, that means Man City has won the league in just the second game of the season, says Robbo. And Agbonlahor blaming De Ligt, says Stan. Can I get some context on that? You know what? These people need calling out for what they are. There's a word for it, xenophobic. Is that the word when people are prejudiced towards people because they're from a different country? It's thick. It's completely and utterly thick. I don't know whether that's true, Stan, but how can you blame De Ligt? He wasn't even on the pitch when we conceded the first one, and the second goal is it's not him. He's actually saying, "Where's the left back?" It's incredible. It's incredible. You know, Harry Maguire's had 5 years of excuses at Manchester United. De Ligt's not had 5 minutes, and he wasn't even at fault. Mark, after 16 transfers and nearly 6... All right, this is not the United stand. Like, I'm putting my foot down. We're watching Aston Villa play Arsenal. If you want to talk about Man United, the United stand's at 8 o'clock. This is not the United stand. And we're not talking about Man United for the next 2 hours. I'm actually want to watch this game and talk about this game. And I'm sure everybody else in the chat wants to watch this game and doesn't want to talk about Manchester United for the next hour and a half. Anyway, Abraham, I will say this. He said, 600 million in players, third year. Why don't United have a clear vision of the way they want to play when teams like Brighton already have a clear philosophy after only 2 games? I find these sort of comments hilarious. I find them really, really hilarious. Brighton have got a clear identity and philosophy. I must have watched a different game to you then. I thought Brighton were very scrappy, not very fluid, and battled really hard to win a game of football without any real rhythm. I'm sure they'll get there, but I don't think Brighton looked that fluid to me at all. Manchester United just lost a game of football. Very, very annoyingly. But I think some analysis just isn't that great, I don't think, really. But Brighton started their B squad today. Okay, I'm going to start modding a bit here. I want to watch Villa play Arsenal, and I want to have a proper conversation about football. I don't want to spend my Saturday evening with Prats. Liverpool-Brentford tomorrow. Yes, awoken. Well, Man United are playing Liverpool next. So I obviously want to see what Liverpool are all about. I watched them against Ipswich last week. They look very good. They'll be very, very strong favourites to beat Manchester United next Sunday. Definitely. I have seen the film. I think have I seen the film Zodiac? I don't know. It's a long film. I feel like I have seen it, but I'm currently watching Heat again at the moment. I fell asleep half the way through it last night, so I'm looking forward to wearing it. Watching it, not wearing it. Brighton have... Milner had... Okay, just not going to... I just won't react. Score prediction for Arsenal versus Villa, says DS. Yeah, I've gone Arsenal to win 3-1. But I think this is going to be a really good game. I felt that last week, Villa and West Ham was the game of the week. I don't think it was an incredibly brilliant opening weekend last weekend, but I thought Villa-West Ham was a really fast-paced game and there was a lot of space in the midfield. So I am hoping that we're going to get that again. I mean, Villa, Look, I've gone with an Arsenal win, but I would not be surprised if Villa did this. And Villa almost need to get a good start, because once the Champions League comes along, they will be playing a lot of games, and there's a lot of expectation that Villa will struggle playing 2 games a week. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Villa approach this game today. I really am. Just before the game starts, by the way, you can get involved with our Super 6 League. The way this works is that we're kicking off with our own That's Football Super 6 League. You've probably heard of Super 6. 6 Premier League games each weekend. You predict the scores, and you had the chance to win a whopping £1 million absolutely free. It's free to play. All you need to do is head over to the Super 6 app, enter your 6 score predictions, and the money could be yours. Plus, you can compete against us in the That's Football League by using the code That's6 to join our league. Whoever tops it each week wins a £100 voucher for classic football shirts, which you can join with the code That's6. You can also see if you can finish above me. We're also keeping a running tab on monthly and across the season as well. So, I mean, look, I'm not in it for jammy 1 week wins. I'm in it for back in at the end of May, I won across the whole season. I might do monthly ones as well if I am doing well, but ultimately it's about across the season. So get involved. That's6 is the code, and you can play along too. I've gone with 3-1 Aston Villa today, but it's free to play. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. And we are just about ready to go here. In fact, I say we're just about ready to go. They are, by my clock, they are a little bit late. They should actually have kicked off by now, because it's currently 33 minutes past. So you can, if you do this enough, you can get fined. And they're going to do some sort of tribute. Ron says, is Emery the second best manager in the Premier League? Appreciate all the effort when you are not well. Truly the king of watch-alongs. Thanks very much, Ron. Bloody hell, they need to get... I know this is a tribute to something, but it's 35 minutes past 5. In no way am I saying that they shouldn't be doing it for all these players, but they should have been doing this 5 minutes ago. It's fucking 5 minutes late. I've got things to do after this game. I wanted a bath and ideally a shower. Don't start on me about that. I always have a shower after a bath. A bath is a relaxant, and then a shower is a cleanser. A bath is actually quite unhygienic when you think about it, especially if you have a... I would never have a piss in the bath, but you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Just a quick rinse after a shower, after a bath, I like. Mark. Ron. Gems does that as well. I think it's not uncommon. You have a bath to relax. I have bubble bath and everything like that, but I don't want that on my skin. Quickly jump in the shower, rinse it off. Clean. Michael Oliver's the referee. Nathan says, how are you feeling about the United game? Well, I've got loads of notes I want to talk about at 8 o'clock. But let me get the timer going here. Don't worry, Michael Oliver. It's only 5 minutes late now. You're only 5 minutes late, you prat. One positive, actually. I will never not be positive about this. VAR today... Actually, we've gone through about 6 games and there hasn't been a VAR moment. So, fingers crossed. Matthew Lund says, Lynx Africa. Matthew, I'm wearing Lynx Africa. I was down the shops the other day and they've got 48-hour perspirant Lynx Africa. And I thought, you know what? I'm not driving. Let's give it a go. It was like being 19 again. Lynx Africa was my smell. So I've just bought it for a little bit of a treat. Relax in the bath, wine, then wash in the shower, says Liam. Lovely stuff. Thoughts on the Arsenal kit, says Arturo. They're normally very nice, the Adidas Arsenal kits. Seen my Premier League ball? There we go. That's this year's. I think that one was last year's, wasn't it? How are you doing in your FPL, Mark? Ooh, you know what? I'm really pissed off. Really pissed off. I don't know whether this happens to anybody else. I'll get no sympathy, but this did happen. Oh, Will's just sent me a message saying sorry about United. Wanker. This did happen, right? I used my wild card after week 1 because it was terrible. So I've used my wild card, and what's happened then is I've put Haaland captain and Salah vice captain, and I've saved it. I've come out of the game. I've gone back into it when Haaland's scoring these goals, and the wild card is all saved, but my captain is not Haaland and my vice captain is not Salah. My captain is Isaac and my vice captain is Jordan Pickford. And I don't even remember having Jordan Pickford as vice captain. You know what? I just can't be arsed with the game. I don't even understand why it's lodged my wild card but not saved my captain pick. So, yeah, the Arsenal kit's like Linz Africa, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not going to get any sympathy, but that is the truth. And I know a lot of people triple captain Haaland as well, which I didn't do, but I thought I'd captained him. Bobby says it didn't save your team. I know it didn't, but it saved my wild card, so that's weird. I know they're two separate things though, the transfer screen and then the pick your team screen, didn't it? But it didn't save it. Should have checked it this morning. Should have checked it. Anana's injured here. Neck injury. Might be coming off. This game might not finish till midnight at this stage. Didn't start... Black Snake says, as a representative of United's biggest fan channel, you have to take responsibility because you picked you backed Ten Hag. Oh God! Saturday night's become the night for idiots, hasn't it? What's it got to do with me? I don't manage the team. I'm not the CEO and I'm not the director of football. Mark, I'm pissed United lost. Weekend ruins, says Sammy. Yeah, and Arna looks like he's all right now. Take a bath at half time, says Lightning. Oh, God, I've got such a headache. It's my fault United lost, says LNJ. I know. What am I thinking about? Anyway, back to the game. I feel there's a bit of a kit clash here. There isn't, but the contrast isn't as good as I would like. Is Moreno to Arsenal done, says Anton? I think it pretty much is. Let me get the stats carousel rolling now. Don't forget to play the Super 6. That 6 is our code. Get involved. Play against us. Let's get going with that there. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I think what we're going to see in this is that I think some people still think Arsenal are the Arsenal of maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when what the reality of Arsenal is that, all right, they're not quite Man City, but they're definitely the second best team in the Premier League by a very long way. They don't concede many goals. They're ridiculously well drilled, and they're a very, very good team. And whilst going to Villa is a difficult place to go, they're more than capable. Should, as Liverpool fans, be worried with no signings, says Callum? Not really. You've got so much quality and so many options. I mean, I think that you always want to bring a couple of players in, don't you, at least? But I don't know whether that's the plan. I mean, are Liverpool expecting to do anything this week? Chance says the same thing happened to me in the week 1 of FPL. Villa trying to play through the press here. Well done, Matty Cash. Good play. Really good play. Watkins was gone there. Needs to switch to the left. McGinn goes to the right. Villa have moved up the pitch very well here. Matty Cash on the turn. Arsenal win it back. And now Martinelli's in down the left. Needs to look to his right. And it goes behind Saka. He will still pick it up on that right-hand side. And that's what his crossing can be like. Martinez on the floor. Declan Rice. And then Martinez gets it. Lucretius says Liverpool need a CDM, but that's about it. Don't think they're going to get one though, are they? Villa fans are booing Saka. Why? Says Andy B. Could be all sorts of reasons. He might have dived last year. You just don't know. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Sun's out at in Villa now. Sun is out at Villa Park now, which is not too far away from me. It's about half an hour away in Birmingham, which is incredible because for the last sort of day, it's been, you'd think it was autumn, dark, pouring down rain, and now it's back to summer again. You think weird Diaby after one season went to Saudi, says Ettore. I don't think it's weird. Yeah, I don't think it's weird. I think it's just the way football goes, isn't it? You never know what a player's personality is. I won't be surprised about footballers going to Saudi to earn $500,000 a week, because some footballers are turned on by the money, aren't they? Even De Bruyne was talking about it a bit in the summer, wasn't he? Ray says, I think Arsenal will grind out a win. Amadesh says, how do you feel about Spurs winning 4-0? Well, I think it's a good result for Spurs. I really do. And I think that what's even more interesting is that their next game is Newcastle away. So I think that the race for like 4th place this season is probably the most interesting position, I think, in the league. I don't think the race for the title is going to be very interesting. I think Man City will win it. I think the race for relegation will be won by the 3 newly promoted teams. I think Liverpool and Arsenal will get 2nd and 3rd. But 4th place is the one I can't pick. Could be Spurs, could be Villa, could be Chelsea, could be United, could be Newcastle. And could be a major shock. So I think 4th place is the really interesting thing. And I tell you what I will say about Spurs. When they're on it, they're a really good team. They're like Villa. When Villa are on it, they can beat anyone. In fact, Villa probably more so than Spurs. Spurs probably need to prove they can beat anyone. But still a very good team, Spurs. And made easy work of Everton. I think everybody would like to play Everton at the moment, wouldn't they? Mr. Life says Chelsea won't get 4th. And Stuart Young says, what do you think the top story on TalkSport will be on Monday with White and Jordan? Well, if Gabby Agbonlahor has said something about De Ligt, I really hope that's not true. I really do, because it's baffling. It's not even. I don't even want to respond to it if it's true, because it's just baffling. But I heard Joe Cole and Rio Ferdinand saying, "Oh, if Maguire's on the pitch, maybe he organises the cross better so that United don't concede." I'm like, hold on a minute. He just was at fault for 2 crosses that led to a goal in the first half. It's this British bias. I'm tired of it. You know, you think you get shit punditry around the world, and you probably do, but in our country, Oh, God, it's so bad. It's not even that it's bad, it's bias. I don't mind bad. I don't mind somebody saying, you know, I think Ivan Toney's the best striker since Pele. But it's the fact that I think Ivan Toney's better than Pele because he's got a British passport. I just can't stand that. Very equal game here in the first 11 minutes. Both teams have settled. Here's Martinelli. Tell you what, I like Trossard. I know you can't pick everybody. I am doing Liverpool tomorrow, yes. What's he doing now? Oh, Matty Cash has gone down, hamstring. English punditry is so biased, it's boring, dull, and unsightful, says Robbo. 96. Yeah, I think he's done his hamstring there, Matty Cash. He'll be coming off. The life of a modern professional footballer. You stretch, you're ready to go, and then in the first 12 minutes, your hamstring's gone. Love you watch along, says Darlin. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Arteta's using the time just to chat with his players. Well, maybe Matty Cash might... He looks pissed off. I was going to say maybe he'll be able to carry on, but I'm not so sure he will. Let's see. Oh. Maybe he is going to carry on here. Maybe he is. No, he's not. He's definitely coming off. Definitely going to be coming off here. It's a shame. A real shame. So Villa have lost their right back in the first few minutes here. And Martinelli has looked quite lively. Do you think Everton will get relegated, says Bibble? No. I think the relegation battle in the Premier League is redundant. It's almost like we've created a Super League where you can't get relegated. And people will go, what are you talking about? And actually then you'll realise, I think the gap between the Championship... Oh, I thought he'd scored there. Saka cuts in on that deadly left foot, and I thought he found the bottom corner. And Martinez must make a good save here. Yes, it's definitely going in, and it's Martinez. What a save. Big save that. Good. Saka's done really well. Links up with Odegaard. And very good. Marcus says you're lucky with your hairline. Well, I don't know whether it's luck. It's genetics, isn't it? Yeah, Matty Cash coming off here. Must be annoying. Nedeljkovic comes on. Yeah, I don't think Everton will get relegated because I think we've got a bit of a Super League now where the likes of Fulham, Brentford, Forest are very, very unlikely to go down because the Premier League and the Championship are so far apart. think it's just so difficult for a newly promoted team to stay up now. And look, imagine Ipswich do stay up, which I hope they do. That would be 1 out of the last 6. So even if one did stay up, it's not enough. All 3 teams should be competing to stay up, and then they're just not able to do it. Do you think it's kind of dumb that Ten Hag... I'm not talking about Ten Hag. Come on, Ollie Watkins. Premier League points, says Og. And Witz says, how many mistakes has VAR made this weekend? I'm not aware of any, but I haven't really seen any of the 3 o'clock games yet. So I've not heard... No one's messaged me about any. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 1.25 million at the moment, and we're currently on 244,000, and we're about 300 away from 245. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Got Brentford against Liverpool tomorrow at Anfield. No Monday night football this weekend, which because there's no midweek games, because there's no Europe, I'm a bit pissed off there's no Monday night football. I don't understand why there wasn't any Monday night football this week. It'd be perfect to have Monday night football when there's no midweek games, but no Monday night football. I'd have even took Crystal Palace West Ham Monday night football. Just give me some football. Give me some football, blood. Good result for West Ham, says that one error guy. Look at Palace. This is how people get it wrong. I've had people telling me Palace are going to finish in the top 8. I was like, you're having a bloody laugh. West Ham play on Wednesday. Why? Oh, EFL. Oh, we've got EFL midweek. And it's a bank holiday, says Matthew. But that'll make the week shorter though. That's a bonus. Bank holiday. We are doing our... we will be live at midday on this channel on Monday. Even though it's a bank holiday, we're still doing the Premier League review show live on Monday at midday on the channel from the Goldbridge Arms. The season before, all 3 promoted teams stayed up and are still in the Premier League. Yeah, but Sven, that's 2 years ago. Stop rewriting history. I said it last season, and I'm saying it again now. I only started saying it last year. It started for me at Christmas. I said the gap is too big for Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton. I've really know something's got to happen somewhere. Like, you can't... I'm not saying it's always been the case, but something's got to happen to make you say it. And I'm saying it now. Last season, I really, really saw a change where Luton, Sheffield United and Burnley were miles off. And then, in the FA Cup, in January, I watched Newcastle go to Sunderland. Massive game for Sunderland at home. And Newcastle just brushed them aside. So, I was like, this is weird. Like, the Championship can't compete with the Prem, and I think it's probably been building for a while, but certainly over the last season and into this season, I think we'll see it again. Leon Bailey's injured now. Oh my God, what's going on down that right hand side for Villa? It's cursed, man. They can't lose 2 players in 20 minutes. Yeah, that looks like it'll be a bad injury because there's no impact. Oh, Villa are in trouble here. 2 players inadvertently injured. Nathan C says, hi Mark, I think an episode of The Office will cheer me up after the United game. I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. Shamong. Yeah, I like that episode. When they go to Chasers. I might watch that later tonight as well. I do that with Game of Thrones now. I can't be asked to watch a whole series back that finished badly, so I'll just watch individual episodes. Thanks for your super chat, Sven. Yeah, I've got the second half of Heat to watch as well tonight. What a great film. I can't believe I watch Heat every summer. Every year I watch Heat. And it's 3 hours. It's such a good film. I'd say it's one of the best films ever. I mean, if you love Grand Theft Auto, the game, you'd love the film Heat. But it's also got De Niro and Pacino in it. It's just such a good film. And it knits together so well. It's so well written. Oh, it's amazing. So good. It's an amazing film. And you know what? When it first came out, it never really got a load of buzz. I loved it from the moment I saw it. Did you see the buying director's comment about Delit? He told, we make some shining and let some go. It's business. You can't have a 40-man team like Chelsea, says Amadesh. Thank you. Layer cake is better than Heat, says Max. Nah. Layer cake's not better than Heat. Even The Departed's not better than Heat, and that's a cracker. I watched the film last week on your recommendations, actually. A Most Violent Year. It was okay. I've read the book Heat 2, Sean. They're going to make a film of it. Pulp Fiction's very good. Yeah, I was very lucky last year, actually, because there was they shut it down, actually. It's called the Electric Cinema in Birmingham. It's a really old, famous cinema, and it's been shut down, which is just disgusting. But they would get like old film reels and just put them in. So I watched, what did I watch? I watched Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction last summer in the cinema, which was brilliant because I'd never got to watch them the first time round. But I would love to watch Heat in the cinema. Scarface is a better film. I watch it every year. I'm not a massive fan of Scarface MSJ, to be honest. I need to watch it again. At this rate, Oliver's going to add 20 minutes. Yeah, Toro, this game might not finish till 9 o'clock. Even Declan Rice has got something wrong with him now. Contact lens. Maybe. Departed and Heat would be a close one, says the Hughes lad. Well, just because I'm a film buff, I'll do it. I think The Departed is a bit more niche. Very good film. Heat or The Godfather, says Ollie. Oh, The Godfather probably. The Godfather's got to be ahead of Heat. But The Godfather is just a halted... The Godfather is just an ultimate iconic film. Oh my God. I tell you what. Ollie Watkins has just missed an absolute sitter. But Arsenal fans would have been losing their shit. Because I thought this was a foul. I don't think... I think Oliver got it right. I mean, Ollie Watkins should score. But I think Arsenal would have gone into absolute angry mode. But I don't think it was a foul. Lee Carsley, England interim manager. I think Watkins didn't look particularly sharp last week, and I don't know whether it's just taking him a bit of time to get going. Didn't have long enough off in the summer. I mean, he will get going. There's no doubt about that. Can you shout out my dad, Dave Thomas, says Liam. There you go. Shout out Dad Dave. And Abhijit says, I find Arsenal boring. Pep has made football boring. We need to bring some individuality back. Fair point. I don't think Saka's boring or Martinelli, though. The wingers of Arsenal are way more expressive than Man City. They are allowed to take people on. Which one's worse, Garnacho or Watkins, says Nathan. You talking about Garnacho last week? Well, that was an open goal. I think Garnacho's last week was worse. Thank God it didn't count. Ben the Beast says, United stand or that's football. They're very different, mate. they're very different. You know, United stand is my team, whereas That's Football is just pure enjoyment. So I would be lying. I mean, That's Football is probably definitely more relaxing, but they're very different. Heat is fine, well cast, but too arty and cold. Didn't feel very invested by it, says Bravo96. Just a depressing reminder that there is an international break after next weekend. Oh, God. Blues enthusiastic. I don't mind the first international break, actually. I might shock you here. I don't mind the first international break because the transfer window closes as well. You've had the start of the Premier League, and I do almost feel like I need just a bit of a timeout. It's the second one. The October one is the most depressing one of all. And I think in this one, we're playing Ireland as well, which makes it, you know, there'll be a bit of interest in that. And it's a new manager. Southgate international breaks were bloody death by boredom. Henderson says, I watch That's Football because my own team's channels are a bunch of doom merchants, or you think you have to be local to be a fan? Oh, I'd love to know who do you support, Henderson? We're all intrigued by that. FC25 watch along. They are brilliant, says Hughes. What's that? Here's Saka. Slips over. Of course, this game could be a draw. We're all talking about, can Villa get a win? Can Arsenal get the win? Could easily be a draw. Would you take Ramsdale, says Junior? Apparently Ramsdale will be on the move this week. Final week of the transfer window. Apparently Mindhunter might be returning soon, Mark, says Jules. Don't get my hope up. They never should have stopped that. And also, it's one of them series that didn't even make sense stopping it either, because we never got to know what that guy was doing. Shane Moran says the book is amazing. You're a credit, pal. Thanks everyone who's bought the book and listened to the book as well. Football According to Goldbridge. If you're heading on your holidays or anything like that, there it is. Thank you very much for your support. What is better, American or British gangster films, says Sullivan Strong? I don't know. Watch along tomorrow, Liverpool-Brentford, Dale. I can't do the 2 o'clocks because I'm doing a watch along, but it's in real life. I'll be watching Seb play tomorrow. There is an 8 o'clock show tonight, Garner. We need one. Nelly says Jason and Argonauts from 1963 is a masterpiece. I've not watched it. The book is on Audible, Jason. If you go to Amazon and type in Goldbridge Football According to Goldbridge Get In, you can get the Audible book there. Project Mbappe with Seb, says Lucas. Well, he's more Project Roy Keane, really. He's more physical, tenacious. Mark, your Sir Jim Radcliffe impression last night was pure class as sewage. Well, at the end of the day, we're trying our best to take a team that's not been doing very well for a long time. You know, I'm sort of a posh Sean Dyche, really. A bit slower and a bit quieter. But I've got Sir Dave and we've got Dan now, and we'll do what we can. Good interception there by Saliba. Game's starting to stretch a bit now, which is good. This is where Arsenal need to move the ball a bit quicker. Proper bookmark. I read it in a day. Thank you very much, MSJ. Partey, will he shoot? He will over the bar. Any news on Agate, says Gavin? Only that I'm surprised they haven't announced it to sort of cushion the loss. Do you think Ten Hag will survive, says Shane? Mate, we lost the Premier League game 2-1 in stoppage time away from home. I mean, anyone would think we've just lost 5-0 to Everton at home. It's disappointing to lose, and there's a context and there's a reason to why we lost. But we shouldn't have lost. And we did, and we just got to deal with it. But all these people saying United played badly and Ten Hag needs to go, they're not watching the game, are they? Saliba should be booked there. I think he'll book him. No, he won't. Saliba fakes this because he doesn't want to get a card. Watch what he does. Not being able to take advantage of opportunities from his friend, instead wasting a good opportunity. He's still laughing. It's a shame he didn't get such a good opportunity, says Luffy. I don't know what he's talking about there. Villa with the cross. Right, here's Arsenal. Bit of a break. Havertz, Odegaard, Rice. Havertz is onside. This is brilliant from Arsenal if it works. Havertz. He's fucked it up. I'll tell you what, that pass from Declan Rice was exquisite. But Havertz messed it up. Are you going to play FIFA 25? I have got the beta, but I haven't. I've not played it as much as I wanted to. Here's a lovely ball into Watkins. Saliba's with him though. Sticking to him like glue here. And wins the ball as well. Oh! McGinn kicks the ball at Saliba and then Ben White kicks the ball at McGinn. Bit of an overreaction, this. All a bit of an overreaction, this. So Watkins is in the corner with Saliba. Saliba wins it, physical. McGinn kicks the ball into him. And then Ben White kicks the ball into McGinn. So I just leave it. What a breakaway that was from Arsenal. Really, really good. And, Havertz gets the ball into Odegaard, gives it to Rice. And then this pass from Rice is fantastic. And he would have been... Havertz is onside, but it's from this point that he should hold on to that a little bit longer. I think Watkins is a one-season wonder, Uzo. Well, he wasn't a one-season wonder last year. Have you seen Sicario? It's great, says the Trot. I think I skipped Sicario. I watched it, but I don't think I really watched it. I think I need to watch it again. Alex says that McGinn has always been the dirtiest and most classless player in the league. Deplorable player. Alex. Oh, I tell you what, Timber could have took a tumble there in the box. Didn't. Stayed on his feet. Do you see Villa getting top four, says Harrison? It's way too early. Way too early to be talking about that. I think they've got a good chance, but yeah. Here's Martinez. into the box again. Martinelli, sorry. Obviously, Matty Cash went off, so they'll be trying to exploit that area. Here's Odegaard in the box. Lovely feet. But offside. Paul McKnight says, what do you think of the Arsenal away kit? Links Africa. Shane Moran says, nothing worse than coming home from holidays back to Dublin. Mate, there's plenty of us who'd love to be in bloody Dublin. Good interception again. Gabriel this time. Alex says, McGinn tries to injure players every week. He's dangerous. Alex has really got it in for McGinn. Arsenal have had 76% possession of the ball in the last 10 minutes. Europa League draws on Friday, I think. HLF. Busy day on Friday, isn't it? Oh, good play there from Ben White. Ben White did his job there, but there was no one there. Alex is McGinn's biggest hater, says Gino. Kieran says, imagine coming back from holiday to Slough. Here's Rice, edge of the box. Good ball into Martinelli. Cross comes in and goal kick. I'm just going to double check that for you, actually. I'm pretty sure it's on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Busy day on Friday because we've got the final day of the transfer window and and then the Champions League draw, I think, is on Thursday at 11. And I said, well, it's a different type of draw this year. I don't even know if it would be very interesting because it's on Thursday for the Champions League. But yeah, I don't. It's not a massively interesting concept, is it? Because well, I suppose it isn't. I don't know how they're going to do it. It could take forever because there's no groups this time. Mark, are you right? This league would be amazing. Mark, you are right, says Colin. This league would be amazing without City. Yeah, it would. Yeah, there's no group draw, and yeah, I don't know. Villa on the attack. He's done well here. He's done very well. Rodgers done very well. Oh, did well. Really good. Rodgers for Villa there. That's the sort of dribbling you want to see in the modern game. Look at where he picks it up and look at where he goes. That's what you want to see in football. We don't see enough of that. You used to see it all the time in the early years of the Prem. You just don't see it anymore. So annoying. Dribbling. We don't see much of it anymore, Bailey. Risk taking. And yet it's one of the most exciting things for a spectator to watch. People who get the ball and drive and dribble. Good play by Tillemans. And it's with Rodgers again here. And he does like to drive with the ball. I like him. Oh, no, that's a bad pass by Bailey. Yeah, I like this Rodgers. He likes to drive with the ball. Sorry, everybody. Here's Bailey. Nah, I just wanted some. I wanted to get some energy, so I just went and got some M&M peanuts. Rub says Hazard at Chelsea was lethal at dribbling. Used to get it a hell of a lot. Last 10 years, it's just died. Pep's killed it. If dribbling was a... I'm trying to think of something that's inoffensive. Dribbling's like a lion that's been put in a zoo. That's what Pep's done. I love M&M peanuts. I could probably eat a whole bag. I wonder how many minutes he's going to add on. Let's play the guessing game. How many minutes is he going to add on? I think he's going to add on 10. No. 6. Matthew McFadden says 7. A lot of people saying 4. What's for dinner tonight, Mark? Says Ollie. We've already had it, like meatballs and pasta. But it wasn't homemade. It was an expensive thing that you put in a box for half an hour in the oven. It was very nice. From Sainsbury's. Yep, we haven't got any minutes. 6. Ow, come on. I told you. Well done if you said 6. Curtis says, should Ben White have been punished for kicking the ball at McGinn-Iniesta? Well, he should have got a yellow card only if McGinn got a yellow card. Are you going to play FC 25, Mark? I think I wasn't sure whether I was going to, but I think I will do a Man United career mode, yeah. Samuel says, what's your favourite supermarket based on price and quality? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm minted, so I don't really care. No, I'm joking. For me, it's all about convenience. I can walk to the Sainsbury's near me. So I'm not going to get in a car to go to Aldi. So it's about convenience, really. Van de Ven or Saliba, says Aaron. It's got to be Saliba. I like Van de Ven, but Saliba is Saliba's in that category of being amongst being in the argument for best centre back in the league, in my opinion. Have a shot, Gabriel. No. Martinelli. British 87 says Lidl Bakery star. Do a TUSFC career mark. I don't know whether I would, Joe, because I don't think we could ever top the original one. I still watch episodes on YouTube of my TUSFC career mode. It is basically should be a Netflix series. It was brilliant. Has it been a bit of a boring game? Yeah, it has. I don't think these games can ever really be boring because, like, there's something on it. I love Rodgers. I love Rodgers. I absolutely love Rodgers. I just love Rodgers. I love him. He's my new favourite player. I truly believe he's the saviour of football. And look at how many problems he's causing. You know, Arteta and Pep, they'll be shitting themselves against players like this. Oh, we're not playing a team that wants to copy what we do really well. He's the antidote. I love it. I love it. Get him the ball. What do you think about Southgate's new job, says Kenneth? I don't know what it is. I think Rep Matson will be a good signing. They got him from Sheffield United, didn't they? Didn't they sign him last year from Sheffield United? Sure they did. Let's have a little bit. Well, no, he's actually quite local. He's from Hales Owen. He was at Middlesbrough. Started off at West Brom. Then was at another one at Man City. He's at Man City. Between the age of 17 and 21. Then he went to Middlesbrough. And then moved to Villa for 15 million. I hate Ten Hag and Trashford, says Isaac. Love you, Cucumber Bridge, says Ibrat. Do you think promotion relegation would help the MLS, says Sullivan? Nothing will help the MLS. It's shit. No, I'm not joking. Actually, I don't know what would help it because I'm not interested in it. Mark, genuine question. When I see other teams play, it's so exciting and refreshing. But when we play, it's also sad and depressing. Are we really this bad, says Sarab. You know what United need? And I'll just humour me on this one as a United fan for a moment. What United need is to clear the fucking deadwood. We keep changing managers. We keep moaning about style of play. And yet we're still using a lot of players that have been at that football club for 5 or 6 years. Harry Maguire's been there for 5 years. Victor Lindelof's not far off being the same. Rashford's been there for 7 years. McTominay's been there for about 6 years. Luke Shaw's been there for about 9 years. Like, there's a lot of players that have been there for a very long time. And whilst they're not useless, they don't suit top 4 clubs, I don't think. It's all about the structure. Anyway, it's half-time here. Half-time thoughts. Get involved in the chat. Heat has beaten The Departed by 60% to 40%, by the way. Well done on that, Heat. But look, let's have a quick look at the stats half-time here. In essence, it's been quite a boring game. There's no two ways about it. You can't polish a turd. But Arsenal have had more possession. Villa had the best chance with Ollie Watkins. We've had one corner in the game. It's not got going by any means. It's not chances, and it's not chances galore. And I think that maybe the way it's going at the moment, both teams are sort of cancelling each other out, hoping to get the first goal, nick a win, but take a draw. Maguire moving to Man United. I don't know, I'm not talking about Maguire. How long will it take for United? I'm not talking about United. Bloody hell. 8 o'clock, United stand if you want to talk about United. I reckon Matson's going to come on, says YNS. And isn't football predominantly played? I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, I thought that there was a couple of occasions towards the end of that first half where Rodgers for Villa just got hold of the ball and dribbled like 20 yards. Such a rare sight in football, and it ended up with an Arsenal player getting a yellow card. This is the problem with modern football. It's all about. I mean, I told you this story so many times. Last season, Kyle Walker's got the ball on the halfway line. The left winger's out of position. The left back's in front of him, and there's about 40 yards behind him. And Kyle Walker's quicker than the left back. And it's like, all you've got to do is knock it past him. You passed him, and then you've got acres to run into down the right wing. And then you're in. And you know what he does? He looks at the opportunity, and it's almost his brain goes, I'm not allowed to do that. Turns back, passes the ball to Diaz. And I'm like, oh, because they've got to pass between the lines. You've got to pass between the lines in the modern game. It's all about structure. It's all about passing between the lines. And then you watch somebody like Rodgers there, who gets the ball and runs at people, and the modern player can't deal with it. It's the antidote. The modern player is fully aware on how to deal with, organisation, passing between the lines, picking up your man. But what's the antidote to a well-drilled system? Taking them on. Run at them. Make them panic. Pull them out of position. We need to see more of it. And fair play to Emery. He's got a player who wants to do it. Jacob Ramsey can do it at Villa as well. Man United haven't got a player who can do it. When's the Europa League fixture draw, says Mason? I believe it's on Friday and the Champions League is on Thursday. But remember, there's no group stage for either of them. They all play 8 games, and I don't know how they're going to draw it because I've got no idea how they're going to draw the Champions League because there's no groups. It's just 8 fixtures in a massive league. You see the MLS ref expect the VAR decision live, says James. Aston Villa Grealish used to run at people, Goodman. Yeah, he did. And now look at him at Man City. I know, it's a joke. If you could manage any club apart from Man United, who would it be, says Harrison? I don't really care as long as it's one of the, professional clubs. I think it'd be good fun. Rodgers has been outstanding, says Tom. And Joel Linton does it as well, says Brian. I never thought that Ten Hag would be so stubborn. Mount and Casemiro's purchases were a mistake. Move on, bench them and save what you can save. Sorry for my English. I'm not a native speaker, says Assel. Kobe Mainoo's good at it as well, Mark. MC says, keep on crying about City. Don't remember talking about City, actually. There's a weird thing about... There's a weird thing about City fans, isn't it? That they think they're being spoken about when they're not being spoken about. I mean, I'll do a video about Chelsea or Arsenal and I'll get at least 5 City fans going, I'll keep crying about City. And it's like, but then if you do a video about City, they'll go, oh, everyone's always talking about City. And it's like, nobody's talking about City. Unless it's 115, no one talks about City. That's your big problem. No one talks about you. You're boring. No one rings up TalkSport. They don't have little clips about you on Sky. Nobody talks about City. It's Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. And then probably Spurs and Newcastle get spoken more about than City. The only reason you get spoken for is 115. Sky Sports takes up about 90% of Man City discussions, says Matthew. Do they? I don't watch Sky Sports. It's crap. Although I'm watching it now. I only watch it for the Premier League. I don't watch it for the tight jeans and white trainers brigade. All Goldbridge does is talk about them. But I don't. I haven't spoken about City at all today. And I've been streaming for about 5 hours. I haven't spoken about them at all. Not once. So, I don't know what you're talking about. Do I think Pep's football is anti-football? Yes. If you want me to say that, yes, I will. I think he bored the shit out of me at Barcelona. That's got nothing to do with Man City. I know he manages City, but Pep was doing it at Barcelona. I hate Pep's brand of football. There's no doubt he's a genius. There's no doubt he'll go down as one of the best managers in football. But I've always hated his style of football. The only good thing about the Barcelona one was that Messi played for them and he was a genius. But I can't stand the tiki-taka. I remember watching Barcelona play in a game against, I can't remember who it was. It was a semi-final of a Champions League game and they needed a goal at the Nou Camp. And in the last 20 minutes, it was blatantly obvious they needed to just start whipping crosses in. And they wouldn't. They just kept probing and probing and probing. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka. Xavi and Iniesta just probe. And I'm like, oh, fucking, I'm bored to death of this. Boring. Give me Klopp football over Pep football any day of the week. But look, some people salivate about it. Some people love it. I respect that, but I just don't like it. I don't like passing between the lines. I don't like structure. I want someone to have a shot from 35 yards. I want someone to take on 3 or 4 players and put it in the bottom corner. Yeah. HLF, you keep asking the same question. It's got absolutely nothing to do with me. So I don't know anything about Girth and Turf. The difference in quality between the newly promoted clubs and the difference in quality between City and the rest is a joke, says Mario. RRR says you don't like modern football. No, I don't. You're right. I find it. I do find some teams interesting, but I think too many people. I think too many managers are obsessed by possession and pressing, and I think football needs to evolve because it has become pretty. Look, when if you go back and watch Goal of the Month from Match of the Day in 2002 from any month and compare it with what we get now, we probably wouldn't get what they get in a month in a whole season. Like some of the goals that were being scored, why are they not being scored anymore? Because we've coached it out of the game. We've coached dribbling out of the game. We've coached individual flair out of the game. Football is massively now about systems and structures and being the collective rather than having 2 or 3 players in your team that can just do amazing things. Tony Yeboah, yeah. Cisse, Newcastle, Matt Letizia. Just you had them coming out your ears. It's riskless shite, says Ono. I mean, look, I still love football, but I do absolutely subscribe to the view that it's factual that there is not the volume of worldies that there was 20 years ago. And it's factual that, I mean, Jack Grealish is the experiment. You know, you speak to any Villa fan, look at Grealish at Villa and then look at Grealish at Man City. What a waste of 100 million quid. The reason you bought him, well, maybe not the reason, but the talent you bought, you've actually diluted. You've told him to stop doing the thing that made him popular. The reason Man City and Man United were looking at Jack Grealish was because he took people on and made things happen. And then he comes to Man City and Pep says, you're not doing that anymore. I'm going to turn you into something else. And I find that absolutely incredible, but it is what it is. Mario says you get angry when Rashford takes a pop from anywhere. What's that got to do with anything? Why you got to make it about Rashford, Mario? Who's talking about Rashford? What's that got to do with anything? So nobody should take a shot from 30 yards because Rashford misses. What sort of conversation is that? Bloody hell. Do you think they'll try and cover up today's defeat by announcing Ugarte to change the mood? It wouldn't be a bad idea from a United point of view, but I don't know. I'm not hearing anything about that. Do you reckon Forest will be in a relegation or have a relegation battle, says Top Shorts? They beat Southampton today, didn't they? I don't think Forest, Everton, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Brentford, I don't think they'll be anywhere near a relegation battle because I think they know how to get to 35 points and that'll be enough. Yeah. When do you think we'll see Calafiori sneaker? Well, Calafiori's a little bit... Well, he's not like De Ligt. I mean, United's defence is shit and we still wouldn't start De Ligt. But Arsenal's defence is very good. They've got the best defence in the league. So you can understand why Calafiori's got to be a little bit patient. I mean, sometimes I do worry about people like Calafiori who come into the Arsenal squad and you sort of go, when are you going to get your chance? Because the reason you're not in the team is justified. Gabriel, Saliba, obviously he could play at left back, but they've gone with Timber today. But I get it. I do get it. But I also think it's hard to see where he's going to get into the team. And that's fine for the first few weeks, but I don't know. I don't know where Calafiori will fit into the Arsenal team long term. Keel says, is it not on the players to decide their future, says Keel. Style of play and coaching, how far is United from Arsenal, Mark, says Diaz. Look, I don't want to talk about United in depth because I've got a show at 8 o'clock, but trust me, the way United played against Fulham and Brighton is very different to the way we played last season. So performance-wise, it's better. Results-wise, obviously, it was very disappointing today. What do you think of Moreno to Arsenal, says Laz? I like it. I like the Moreno signing for Arsenal. I really do, because I think they need midfield options that can give them everything in relation to passing ability, tackling, athleticism, and I think Moreno brings in all of those things. So I think it's a good signing. But, you know, they did have that Vieira, didn't they, that they've now got rid of, and that's sometimes... That's the thing that people might moan about, is the fact that it's all right bringing these players in, but if they're not going to get any game time, they'll be gone again in a couple of years' time. 28 years of age as well, so he's not young. I was just double checking his age. Kyle says they actually need a striker, not a defensive midfielder. Well, I did a video on Arsenal, didn't I? I put it up on the channel. Was it last week? And I said, for me, they do need a striker. And... yeah, they do need a striker. And there was a lot of Arsenal fans who got in the comments saying, no, we don't need a striker, we've got Jesus. And I said, but the trouble with Jesus is you can't rely on him fitness-wise, and he's not on the bench today. He's got another injury today. So I still stand by the point that I think Arsenal need a striker. And Gabriel was injured in game 2. Players coming out for the second half here. Six days left of the transfer window. Thanks everyone for getting involved, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We are doing Liverpool against Brentford tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Well, probably not looking forward to that. I think it'll be a very straightforward win for Liverpool. And then Man United have got Liverpool in a week. It's a long, long time to wait for United, that, a week. Second half's about to start here. Darren Thomas says West Ham are massive. Didn't pick up. I looked at the West Ham starting lineup. He didn't massively start with many of his new signings again, did he? Fulkrug didn't play. Wan-Bissaka didn't play. Somerville didn't play. I think Todibo did, but I'll double check on that one. But they still went to Palace and won 2-0. Two losses for Palace. I know they haven't got Elise and Anderson, but you wouldn't have had Palace losing 2 games in a row. I'm just having a quick look at the West Ham game. No. Todibo was on the bench as well. So none of the new signings getting picked. Wan-Bissaka didn't play. He was on the bench, mate. He came off the bench, but he didn't start. That's what I was talking about. The dog's dead, says Junior. It's not. Better not be. I'll be in massive trouble. Real problem at United is the gap between defence and the attack, says Rohit. We didn't really have an attack today, did it? We didn't play with a number 9. Right, we're up and running here anyway. Let me get this stats carousel rolling around. Could do with a bit of better action in this second half. I do feel like the Premier League has started. I mean, I know Man United lost, and that'll make a lot of people happy. But quality-wise, Spurs very good today. But the Premier League has started off a little bit with a whimper, hasn't it? Man City 2 from 2. Newly promoted teams all losing. It just feels a bit predictable. Are there any beers in the Goldbridge Arms, says Shane? Yep. Do you speak any other languages, Mark, says Just Ask? We, C, and... Do you get me? G. I also speak facts, says Sort R. Top Short says, do you think the teams that get promoted will go straight back down? Oh, yes, brother. Yes, I do. Goldbridge, Man City ready to win the title again, says Thailand. Get the ball to Rodgers. Let him dribble through. A few people saying Leicester are going to stay up. Badger says Leicester are going to stay up. Oh, apparently Kenneth says that Southgate is the UEFA technical observer. Political job for the politician. That would not be a surprise. Here he is again. Look, Rodgers trying to dribble. Love it. Absolutely love it. It is a midfield battle, this game, yeah. Needs a goal. Needs a goal just to make the other team open up a little bit. Tommy's just got in, who looks better. Villa had the best chance with Ollie Watkins. Arsenal have had more of the ball. So, but we've only had one corner in the game. There's not been a lot of chances. Sort of cancelled each other out. Arsenal got a very difficult start to the season, though. I was looking at their fixtures the other day. They've got, I'm sure they've got Spurs and Man City in their next two. Just double check. Yeah, they've got Brighton next weekend. Then they've got Spurs. Then they've got City. So they've got Brighton at home. And then they've got Spurs and City away. So in their first 5 games, they've got Villa, Spurs and City away. Tough start. They've got to hit the ground running. Would you have Sabitzer back at United as Vasil? I wouldn't see. I don't see the point. Where would he play? Who remembers Pavlyuchenko from Spurs? I do. He wasn't terrible, was he? Tillemans into Digne. McGinn. And that was going to be the keeper's ball. What do you think about Watkins at Arsenal, says JB? I think that would be the solution, to be honest. Yeah, I think that would be the solution. Yeah, I think Watkins at Arsenal would be the dream ticket, but it's going to cost you, yeah, ridiculous money. I think that's somewhere where football's probably changed, arguably for the better. Is that you look at Isak at Newcastle and you look at Watkins at Aston Villa, and either of those players would make Arsenal, I believe, probably title winners, the final piece, but you can't get them. I think some players are just ungettable now, whereas it wouldn't be the case probably 10 years ago, let alone certainly 20 years ago, but I don't think even 10 years ago you wouldn't be able to look at Newcastle and Villa and go, we want your striker, and get them. Kai says, I'd rather play the hard games in the beginning of the season. Well, if you can win them, it's a psychological advantage, isn't it? I ain't going to read your comments out. I'm just laughing at some of you. God, Saturday night, and you can't even write a sentence. You need to get a bloody life. Goldbridge, remembering United getting York from Villa. Yeah, long time ago. Here's McGinn down the left-hand side. Game needs a goal. Shoot! Oh, he's at the bar. What a save by Raya! Oh my Christ! What a save by Raya! Wow, that save of the season, definitely. Watkins has just missed, well, it wasn't an open goal, but what a save. Jesus. I mean, he shouldn't be allowed to make the save here, but it hits the bar. Oh, it's a great save. It really is. Hits the bar. Raya's going back. Hits the bar. He's in his own net. Jumps up. Watkins is heading it towards the goal, and he just jumps up and tips it away. Brilliant. Brilliant. Watkins could have had 2 today. He's got none. He's got no. How does he miss that's a fair point, because he should score. He's got the whole goal to aim at. You know, it shouldn't even be a possibility for Raya to save it. But it's still a world-class save. Like, a lot of goalkeepers wouldn't get up and save that. So it's a world-class save. But yeah, Watkins shouldn't give him the opportunity. Hi, Mark. Do you think Arsenal actually have a chance to win the league this season? Or do you think City will do 5 in a row? Says Paracetamol. Oh, 100%. I think City will win the league. Eric Ten Hag has to know Rude was bought to replace him. No room for error. Why doesn't he play his best team? Style of play has to be established and he needs to stop playing favourites. He'll lose his job, says Tylen. Good play by Bailey here down the right-hand side for Villa. Where's he going? And he sort of ran into trouble there and plays a bad pass. Konza. Massive save by Raya, though. We're going to show it again here. Deflects onto the bar. Yeah, I mean, Watkins has got to direct that into the bottom corner, hasn't he? But even then, I still think the keeper does a great job. The corner for Villa. They're doing better here at the start of the second half. Yellow card for Arsenal. Gabriel. Onana. Oh, Tim says, Watkins is an Arsenal fan. No beers, Mark, says Mark. Mate, I felt really rough last night. I went to bed and I was like shivering. So, must have been a premonition of United. So I've been taking like paracetamol and stuff today. So I'm not really feel like I'm being on the beers. But it's bank holiday weekend in the UK, so I can always turn tomorrow night into it and have some. Matt's not happy as an Arsenal fan. All this seemingly great quality and they can't score. I think Matt makes a great point here. Like, we're talking about Villa, but we're not talking about Arsenal's inability to create chances. They've done nothing in this game apart from that Saka shot. And that was a good save from Martinez, but that feels a long time ago. Arsenal certainly haven't exerted any authority on this game. Corner for Villa. And Onana wins it, but it's a bad header. What the fuck is a bank holiday, says Ollie. I don't know really why they call it a bank holiday. But you get about 5 a year where you get a Monday off. It's like a national holiday. I didn't have the Kievs tonight. I'm having them tomorrow, Zetty. Danny says Arsenal playing rubbish. I think I need to stop having a number one, you know. I've seen a few comments and I think they're right. I think number one is too much for me now. The trouble is, the thing about my hair grows quite quickly on the side. And I hate it when it gets beyond a certain length. So if I have a number one, it's 3 weeks before I need another cut. Whereas if I have a number two, I probably need to go every week and a half. Odegaard. That's a good cross, Martinez, though. He's so quick. Jack says Arsenal need to wake up before Arsenal punish them. Get a mid fade and it would blend better, says Luke. Yeah, but that takes longer at the hairdressers. I haven't got loads of time. Villa need Duran, says Lightning. Nico Williams, Gyökeres or Osimhen, says Connor. I mean, I still think Osimhen's a good striker. He didn't have a great year last year. Villa again, coming forward. Anana. Into McGinn. Into Watkins. Needs to pass. Needs to pass there. That's a foul. Oh, he's going to play it on. Martinelli on the break. Down the left-hand side. Still got it. And he loses it. And now it's Rodgers. Here we go. Rodgers with the ball at his feet. It's like a modern-day Gascoigne. Oh, he's gone past Partey like he's not there. Rodgers. Oh, I just love it. I love it. He's the most exciting player in sports entertainment, Rodgers. I think in a footballing sense, I've fallen in love tonight. He is such a rarity. I'm not saying he's the best ever, but he's such a rarity in the modern game. I love it. If you're a young player, play like Rodgers. People say Arsenal are boring. Meanwhile, Martinez is baiting the striker at 60 minutes. 0-0, says David. I don't know whether it's Rodgers is so good. It's just very refreshing. Chelsea going to bid £100 million for him tomorrow. I think he needs a section in the podcast on Monday. Rodgers. Well, the way this second half's going, it'll probably end up going to Villa. But football doesn't work like that. And Arsenal have got quality. They just need to show it. Serene says, I think this might end up 0-0. It's difficult to know what Arsenal changes they can make. I don't think they've really got anyone on the bench that can change the game. And I don't think Arteta really wants to change the game. I think they will just keep doing what they do. Here's Odegaard. Oh, it's brilliant. But Martinez does the job. I think Saka should have hit that first time. Odegaard and Saka at times tonight have looked, very good in their link-up. Here's Anana. Needs some support here. Oh, that's a free kick. Partey should be getting booked here. KV says, I'd take a draw at this point. I think Saka might have been offside. But he should have shot first time. Shouldn't have tried to go around the keeper. Odegaard is just class, Mark, says Junior. Duran is coming on, and it probably is for Watkins. Doesn't look completely happy. Ramsey coming on as well for McGinn. Good. That's an intelligent substitution because Ramsey's another player that who can run at people. Trossard on as well. Martinelli off. Villa definitely been the better team second half. Across the back post, he's free! Across the face of the goal from Konza. He's probably saying, why is no one there? That's what he is saying. Why is nobody there? He's got every right to say it as well. Nobody is there. Wasn't far off Konza, was it? Here's Saka. I tell you what, it'd be very Arsenal and title credentials way to find a way of winning this game. Again, they've not conceded. They've got the best defence in the league last year. That is something that Arsenal are always going to have. Defensive solidity. Saka's got it down the right-hand side. Puts the cross in. Edge of the box. He's done it. He's done it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Jeff. Trossard. And I literally said that a minute ago, didn't I? Literally said it a minute ago. It's those title credentials to build on a clean sheet and then take your chance at the other end, which is why Arsenal are so impressive and have been able to stay close to Man City for the last 2 years, because they can be out of a game but in a game. And that save by Raya is as good as a goal. And there's Trossard again off the bench providing the finish. And Villa will be massively disappointed. But it's the old adage of, if you don't take your chances, you'll pay the price. And they've paid the ultimate price here. Trossard's literally just come off the bench. And if Arsenal can now keep a clean sheet, they'll get 3 massive points here at Villa Park. Took it very well, Trossard. There we go. 1-0 Arsenal. Arsenal fans will be ecstatic by this. Ecstatic by this? They'll be very happy by this. Barat says rubbish defending. 68 minutes. Arsenal confidently coming forward again here. Goal kick. Low Fat says Mark is a secret Arsenal fan. I'm certainly not. I'd probably rather Villa win this. I know more Villa fans. I'm just a fan of football, mate. And I did say before that goal, it would not surprise me if Arsenal, you know, did what they did, because they don't get the credit for what they've actually built under Arteta, which is a team that hardly ever concedes. And I've seen United do this countless times under Sir Alex over the years, where might have an off day away from home, but you stay in the game and then you get the killer goal yourself. Came from Saka's lovely play down the wing though, didn't it? I don't think he'll get the assist. They're playing with more confidence now. Kay says, Trossard is so cold. He's one of my favourite players as a United fan. County Dublin says there's no assist on the FPL site. Oh, they're pinging it around really well now, Arsenal. It's funny how a goal can change a game as well. Good play by Duran. Yeah, a goal can change a game because it was like, before that, Villa were doing really well. Now Arsenal, Ramsey, oh. Be a good game now, this last 20 minutes. It's got to open up, hasn't it? And Villa have got to go for it. We'll get a good last 20 minutes here. But Birmingham and Charlton won today, Mark. Hey, look, loving it from Charlton. 3 from 3. My League One team this year. Not favourites to get promoted by any means, but very good win against Bolton, which is even better because Stuntpeg and Bolton and Thogden and Bolton get out. PC says City are so much better than Arsenal. Look, if we want any semblance of a title race, then Arsenal have got to win these types of games, haven't they? Who's your League 2 team, Mark? Says Jack. Notts County. Yellow card there for Digne. Foul on Saka. Oh, it's an Arna, sorry. Serge says, what do you think about Arne Slot not giving Nunez a chance to play? Not surprised. Did a video on Arne Slot on this channel a few weeks ago talking about Liverpool and how we might set them up. And I did say in that video towards the end, I do worry that, well, not worry, but I highlighted that Nunez might not play much because he likes to play with a sort of false 9, sort of Jota type. And then he wants his wingers to run in behind. So I think he will go with Diaz and Salah. So at the moment, I think that Nunez was quite likely to be on the bench. But there's plenty of games to play, isn't there? Trossard for 30 million as well, says Thiago Brown. Yeah, Chris talks football, talking about Arsenal's next few games. Remember, they've got Brighton at home, and then they've got Spurs and Man City back-to-back after the international break away. Tough. Villa just need to find a bit of composure here at the moment. Have a stretch, Mark. I feel too ill. I'll normally be standing up. I'll stand up on the 8 o'clock show for United Stand. I can't sit down all day for this long. I just don't feel great. Lovely turn by Rodgers again. I have... Oh, he's overplayed the pass. A star is born tonight for me, Rodgers. He's going to be one. I'm going to do Villa watch-alongs all the time. I'm going to get a Villa shirt with the name Rodgers on the back. Not because I like Villa, but just because I like Rodgers. I'm just going to watch every game he plays, and he's going to be my favourite player. I think he's probably my favourite player outside the Premier League now. To be fair, though, I was watching... No, I wasn't watching. I read it on Twitter a couple of days ago. An Arsenal fan, I just can't remember who it was to give him some credit. And they said, I'm really worried about Rodgers spinning in to the gap behind Partey and Declan Rice. And they absolutely nailed it because that's exactly what he's done. Nee says, full-grown men who have players on the back of the shirt need their hard drive checked. You probably got a good point, actually. What do you think's the what age do you think's the cut-off for having a player's name on the back of your shirt? I think 20, maybe younger. I had Beckham 7 when I was 20. It's controversial. A lot of people are saying you should have it any age. Yeah, because there's a lot of people sat there with like Saka on their back, and it's like they're in their 40s. Who do you think will win the Premier League? Come on. Ross Barkley on for Villa and Maatsen. Good quality players to bring off the bench. Remember, Villa beats Arsenal twice last year. If Arsenal get a win here, their fans will be very excited. I'll tell you that for free. Emery's going all out, says Diego. Oh, I tell you, there'll be a long way to go here yet. Have I told you the story of what happened to my David Beckham top? I mean, I had a guitar. I moved to Ireland when I was like 18, and I lived there for 3 years. So basically, I was living at home. I put all my valuable stuff in the loft and moved to Ireland. I'd come back at like Christmas and stuff. Anyway, while I was away in Ireland, my brother sold my electric guitar and never admitted it. I was like, who do you think, what happened to my guitar then that was hidden in the corner of the loft? You know, the guitar robber. Oh, it's 2. It's 2-0. Well, that's it. Game over. Partey. Martinez with a very rare mistake. Butterfingers. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. Well, you know what? Those things happen in football, but you bloody love it when it happens in a game like this. Should be a standard save for Martinez. Trossard's onside there. Comes to Saka, who will get an assist here, won't he? Yeah, lays it off to Partey, and although Torres is in the line of fire, yeah, it's not a complete clanger, but he knows he should save it because he gets enough on it. And this is very impressive. A very impressive result for Arsenal, this. Well, that's what I was just tweeting that there. It's a very impressive win for Arsenal, this, when you consider Arsenal could and probably should. Sorry, Aston Villa should and probably could. Aston Villa could and probably should have took the lead on 2 occasions and have played well. For Arsenal to win this 2-0 is, or to be winning 2-0 with 12 minutes to go, very, very impressive win for Arsenal. And that Raya save, yeah, magnificent. Six says, not many teams will win here. Look, I think if you played this game 10 times, I don't think Arsenal would win many of them. That's what I mean. That's why it's a really good result. I think this is what Arsenal fans tonight will be going, you know what? I'm glad we've got that out of the way, and we won. I don't think Villa have done a lot wrong, apart from putting the ball in the back of the net. It could be 3. Oh, Odegaard missed the best chance of the game. Cut back over the bar. Over the Demba. Lovely play from Arsenal here. Trossard into Rice. Cuts it back. And you'd put money on Odegaard scoring that. Really. But, you know, fine margins. Look at the game. Villa, Watkins should have scored 2. Hasn't scored any of them. You would never think that he wouldn't score either. And then Martinez makes a big mistake on the second goal. So 2-0 to Arsenal. One of those goals is a mistake by Martinez. And Watkins has missed 2 sitters. So it just shows you it's fine margins, isn't it? And that's why it's such a great result for Arsenal at the moment. Because there'll be teams that come to Villa Park where Martinez doesn't make that mistake and Watkins scores those goals. So, as I said, ecstatic you would be if you're Arsenal. They're loving it. Their fans are loving it. And well they might. And well they might. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up. I'm your mother. I'm your brother, don't you know? Is there any way back for Villa now, Mark? Well, I would say it's difficult to say that. You know, I think it's very difficult for them to find a way back now. Do. Yeah, good to see so many people talking about the Raya save. It was massive. But, you know, the big thing now is Arsenal have got that lead. They've also got the best defence in the league. You can almost guarantee a clean sheet for Arsenal these days. And there's not many teams you can say that about. Very impressive. 8 minutes to go. Well, this is why we love football, though, isn't it? You know, I think it would have been a very... Here's Rice coming forward again. Now it's Odegaard. Is that a good game, Odegaard? Saka already got an assist. And that's over the bar. Have you got any Arsenal players in your fantasy Premier League? I've got Saliba in mine. I don't have Saka. But here's Ramsey. Oh, what a tackle by Saliba that was. Celebrating tackles. Why not? And Ramsey doesn't do a lot wrong here. But Saliba makes the save. Tackle, and then Raya makes the save. Looking like being one of those days for Villa where you just go, it's not one of our days. I mean, I don't think Villa have done a lot wrong. I can't, you know, sometimes when you lose a game and you sort of like go, you want to be critical and say this, that and the other. And I'm sure Villa fans would say, you know, Watkins has got to score one of those. Martinez has made a mistake. And I do agree. I completely agree. But also there is an element of watching it as a neutral. I don't think Villa have done a lot wrong. And I just think they're just going to have to put it down to one of those days. I don't know who Villa have got next, actually. I was thinking about that a moment ago. Presumably they'll be away next Saturday at Leicester. I'm not presuming they're away to Leicester, by the way. They are away to Leicester. One sub made the difference, says Serene. Trossard. Juan says, Arsenal does have some weird look at times. It's all built on a strong defence. And your goalkeeper's part of that. Vassal says, who would you have as Man United's main shirt sponsor? Honestly, don't care. Michael Wright says, what about this stolen guitar? Yeah, so the guitar went missing. And I was like, who stole that then? The guitar thief from the bloody loft. He definitely cashed in on that. And then the worst thing was, also in that loft, in a box, was my 99 Man United top, the season we won the treble, with 7 Beckham on the back. And you know what he did? He used to work tarmacking on the roads, and he wore it to work. And all down the front was tarmac. And I was like, this was like 2004. I was just like, not only have you sold my guitar and you won't admit it, you've just ruined a relic. I know, no respect. I kept it for a few years, but it was like, what's the point? You can't put it on the wall, it's got tar on it, and you're never going to bloody wear it. Four minutes of normal time to go. Corner. Yeah, Villa just need to lick their wounds here and go again next week. I think it's just going to be one of those days. When do you think City won't win the league, says Jaden? When they're not in the bloody league. Another sub coming on for Arsenal. I am doing Brentford against Liverpool tomorrow, so join me on the channel for that. Saka's coming off. I'm on the United stand at 8 o'clock tonight. Some of you might not be Man United fans, but you might still enjoy me dissecting that. So if you want to join me at 8 o'clock, you're very welcome. Arsenal fans very happy. 6 points taken off them last year. Saka goes round. He was being booed in the first half. Tell you what though, 6 from 6 for Arsenal. Brighton at home next week. I'd fancy them to win that. 9 from 9. Take 4 from Spurs and City away. You'd be very happy with that, wouldn't you? And you played Villa, City and Spurs away. Odegaard's just got himself booked. Nice ball in there. Oh, it's gone. That's gone. Brighton will give them a game next week, says Simon. I don't think they will at the Emirates. Obviously I watched Brighton today, and I really think United probably should have got something out of that. But you put United against Arsenal, I don't think we would. So these sort of games, it's like that cliche of winning when you play badly. I don't think Arsenal have played badly, but they'll certainly come out of it knowing that it could have been a different story. How long's the ref going to add? I'm going to say 6 again. 4. Love it. I'm loving it. You know what? I'm applauding the referees today. I'm going to write this down. and no VAR moments. I'm going to applaud them. I like the fact that we're getting less minutes added on at the end of games. Last season, it was sickening how you get 8. Don't forget to join our Super 6 League for free. Play it against us every week, predicting the Premier League scores. Our code is that6. Links in the description, or scan the QR code to get involved. Then join the league with the code that6. If you're already in one, get involved. There is an 8 o'clock show today, yes, on the United Stand. Nearly called it the breakdown. Basically digesting United, going through everybody's thoughts. Shot over the bar. Fantasy Premier League for me is an absolute shit show again. I'm going to be coming so hard from behind. I may as well be a bloody porn star. I've made some right mistakes. Haaland was meant to be my captain. It didn't save it. It's just not doing very well. But should be getting another... I've got Delit in my team. And Garnacho. Oh, fucking hell. May as well just bloody give up. Robinson on my bench with 5 points. I'd have started him. Oh, it's just not saved it. Why would I have Twan-Sibby in my starting team and not Robinson, who's at home to Leicester? Fuck, it's doing me here. It's all about porn. I'm getting done by the FPL. Pickford in goal. That's just madness. That's because he did well last year. Oh, I just give up. I give up. I'm still going to give a massive shout out to Morgan Rogers, though. Very exciting player for Villa. He could have a very good season for them, actually. When you've got a player like that in the team, you'll get chances. Yeah, I'm on the United Stand at 8 if you want to join me for that. Rogers man of the match, easy, says Lee. I think he probably is, you know. I think you're probably right. I agree with what you said on Rashford earlier, Mark. People need to stop talking about his performances now. By the way, Rodgers has been classed today, says Nathan. The biggest problem with Rashford and United is it's not about Trashford. It's not about he's a brand. It's not about anything like that. It's very, very simple. The analysis on Rashford is this. For the last year, he's very rarely been average. In most of the time, he's been below average. What team in the Premier League can carry a player that is below average? That's it. End of conversation. Forget the contract. Forget the wages. Forget the name. Could Arsenal carry a Rashford at the moment? No. So why are Man United doing it? Just stick him on the bench. Like, you can't keep carrying players like that in the modern game. You just can't do it. Win for Arsenal. There it is. 2-0. Fantastic result for them. Do feel a bit for Villa. I think Villa just go again next week. Don't let it define them. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm on the United Stand at 8 o'clock, so I've got to shoot off. But thanks everyone for watching. We're back on here tomorrow with That's Football, Liverpool, Brentford. I'll speak to you in a bit. Take care. Absolute legends tonight. And I'll see you at 8 o'clock if you want to talk United.